Welcome to Sanfan and Jonny's podcast. Today we have Geddy here as our first guest.
Hi.
How
Hey,
does it feel
Geddy.
to be here, Geddy?
You know what? The fact that you asked me first is really special because, after all, I am Geddy.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know?
we felt last episode.
Yeah.
That's why we mentioned you as a guest. I didn't expect
What
us
can
though
I
to
say?
get you so fast.
Easy peasy. Well, I'm a man in demand, but for my Sanfan, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hmm.
So what's been going on during your week, Geddy?
During my week, it's been a very stressful week. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and I also planned a trip to Norway.
Yeah, you want to talk about that trip a bit?
Oh hell yeah! So basically, what's gonna happen is that me and your lovely co-host Jonny
Yeah.
are going to head to Norway on the 18th, particular Rogaland, Stavanger.
Actually, I'm getting
Mm.
slightly before, but
Wow,
carry
important
on,
details.
carry
Yeah.
on. Well, it is kind of important.
God
Carry
damn
on.
Go
it.
ahead, Geddy.
Okay, so we get there, and the plan is at first to stay with Evie for the first 3 days until the 21st, and that is when you, the other lovely co-host of this podcast, is going to join up with us in Stavanger, also with a guy named Francisco or Flakes.
Yeah.
And because of the living situation, I was thinking, how can we all fit in Evie's apartment? We can't. So, as a compromise, me and you were going to get an Airbnb together.
Yeah. And what was the
And
name of the host of that?
Irina was the name of the
Irina was the
host
name.
of that Airbnb, but then I had to tell her no because Evie had this idea to put us all in an Airbnb together.
Yeah, so she just wouldn't have us like any of us.
No, no, she would not. Sadness.
What was
Quite rude.
her reason for that? I
Her
can't
reasoning
remember.
for that was simply because we all wouldn't have been comfortable in her apartment, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, wasn't it as well that she's working and she didn't wanna
She's also
leave?
working and doesn't want like people like even if one was to stay at her place, she doesn't want that one person just sitting there bored while everybody else
Yeah,
is having fun together. So yeah.
I mean, I have a hard to
Nice.
believe there would be a world where one would just chill there instead of go to the other. But I get where she's coming from and it makes sense. So we
Yeah,
actually
totally
looked
agree.
out a place, right, or picked a place where we want to go. And where actually, where is it? Isn't it like in the city center?
It's in the city center, yes. It's in the
It's
center of
close
Stavanger.
to where Evie works, right?
Close to Leap Ink and Piercing. If you
Yeah.
ever need a
That's a
tattoo or a
nice
piercing,
plug there, Geddy.
please head over there.
Yeah,
Evie is
yeah.
an absolutely fantastic tattoo artist. I
This
know from personal
podcast is sponsored by
experience.
Leap Leap Ink.
Exactly. And also her workmates are also really good.
Yeah.
Gerda's a good tattoo artist, very creative, very talented. The other ones I don't really know apart from Stephanie. Stephanie is also really talented, loves to do like gaming
Yeah.
tattoos, such as Mario and Zelda. So if anybody ever wants one of those, you know where to go.
Now that's a niche if I've ever heard one.
Hmm.
And you got yourself a tattoo there last year, right?
I did get myself a tattoo there.
What
So
exactly did you
basically,
get? Talk about it.
I got basically a two-sided wolf. Now that sounds really weird, but basically what it is, it's a pattern that's split down the middle, and on one side it has a realistic wolf,
Yeah.
and on the other side it has a realistic slash geometrical wolf.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
plan is that when I go back there this year, so basically the last tattoo Evie gave me as a birthday present.
Yeah.
And because Evie is such a nice person that she just wouldn't let me not
I
give
mean,
her anything for it.
yeah, yeah,
She wouldn't
okay,
let
yeah.
me. She wouldn't let me give her anything for it. So I tried to
No,
make it up to her with sushi and stuff, but it didn't work.
it was a
So
valiant effort.
this year when I go back, Carlin is getting a sleeve done, part of his sleeve. He's starting that tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then when I go there, he wants me to chill with him on the 19th. At first, he wanted me to chill with him, but then he had the idea for me to ask Gerda if she would do the rest of my tattoo.
Okay, so
So
actually Gala is the one finishing then, not
I
Evie.
believe so, yes.
How does
Because
Evie feel about that?
I did say to Evie, would she finish my tattoo? And then she she was very apprehensive because I had actually asked Gerda to do it a few
Yeah.
months prior, and she was like, "No, you asked Gerda to do it." I was like, "Oh yeah." So, but Gerda's a really talented tattoo artist,
So
so
what
I feel
exactly will
very
she be
safe in
doing?
her
Will she
hands.
like color in, or what is she finishing? Like
What
in the
she will
sense
be
of that?
doing is at the side of my wolf, it's really bare. So what I'm thinking is, on one side, on the realistic side, I'm gonna get trees
Yeah.
going up the side of my forearm, and on the other side where it's geometrical, I was having a long think about this, and I didn't really know like how I could make trees geometrical, you
Yeah.
know. But what I decided instead is to have like one side like full of trees and full of life, and the other side, all the trees are scorched by fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
yeah.
You build a home for it and then you rip it down.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean
What
that
does the
sounds
fire
good.
represent, Geddy?
The
But there,
fire.
so there's no actual fire though. It's just like the
It's
aftermath of it,
just
right?
yeah, the aftermath of it's all
Yeah.
scorched, like a
So, um,
scorched earth.
So
and
what
what does that
exactly happened?
represent?
Yeah.
Doesn't represent anything. I just think it'll be cool,
Oh,
Okay,
to be
it
honest.
represents
that
your
is
cool
just the
factor.
best. I love the fact
Exactly.
like when people just make stuff and then others try to like find a hidden meaning that isn't there, and they have all these different theories of like what is actually going on, stuff like that.
It'd be a nice
Uh,
representation of Geddy's, rage, or at least his post-rage, mindset.
Is
Yeah.
that so?
After you fought that guy at Pizza Hut,
Uh-huh.
was
All 50 of them.
Did you fight a
yeah,
guy at Pizza Hut, Getty?
he fought many guys at Pizza Hut.
I did find
What
a guy at
happened?
Pizza Hut. So basically,
So,
so basically, what happened was I was young, right?
Yeah,
Had a
that's a
girlfriend,
real event. Yeah.
split up with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why do you
but I
say
was
that so
always,
cheerful? Yeah, I get it.
but me and this girl, her name was Lauren, were very close. So she would always sit on my knee, a lot of hugs, a lot of that stuff. And her
Yeah.
boyfriend didn't like that. Now, I didn't know her boyfriend at all. I'd never seen him in my life when she got this guy because he was from another school.
Yeah.
But basically, what happened is we used to go to this place called the Soccer Dome. And that is where we would go to sort of play football, 5v5, proper tournaments and
Oh,
stuff.
before Counter-Strike was a thing.
Exactly. So we go there, and I get there, and there's a lot of people for some reason. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is there so many people?
Yeah.
Um, so we get to that, and then all of a sudden, this police officer comes over to me, and he says, "We heard there's been a threat of violence going on here," and I'm like, "Nope, I have no idea what you're talking about." I did because my friend James had come up to me and said, Pouncy is here. That was his name, Pouncy. What a
That's an
stupid name.
interesting name.
how are you spelling Pouncy
P
before?
O U N C E
So it's
Y.
the same as pouncing, like a cat would
Yeah,
pounce. Yeah,
yeah,
that is a stupid name.
I know.
Carry on.
So he told me in the police, and I strapped the police. No, I'm just here to, play football with my friends, chill out.
Go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Exactly. So basically, what we decided is it wasn't worth it, right? It wasn't worth it for all this fighting. I didn't know him. I hadn't done anything wrong. So we decided to bail. So we walked away and we get outside the cinema. Now, next door to the cinema is a Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
And we're stood outside the cinema. We see this guy called Michael Lee. Now, he used to be in my school, but he got expelled for basically stabbing people with a maths compass.
Okay, how do you stab someone with a compass? It doesn't make any sense to me. Aren't compasses round?
No, because this
No, a
compass is
maths compass.
imagine like a V sort of
Okay,
shape,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
you
then
make a perfect circle where you put
yeah,
it in and you put the pen in and you twirl it around.
Oh, those
you put
ones,
it
Yes.
in,
yeah.
put the
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know what
Well,
those
that
are.
one. Well, he got expelled from our school for
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 stabbing
stabbing
people.
people with a
Yeah,
maths compass. Um, Basically, he'd moved to the school where Pouncy was from, and they were friends.
yeah.
So I seen him, and he was on the other side of the bars to me, and he was, running his mouth, and then like he bailed, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he bailed, from around the corner, there was just like 40 people just walk around the corner. Now, there was only 5 of us. There was me, there was Bradley, Sam, Nathaniel, and Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, we had one of 2 options. We either stay there and see what happens, or we run and it doesn't go well. So we stay there.
Okay, but why would these people be aggressive? Like, what did you expect that, or why did you expect that?
Because when James had told me on the field, Pouncy has come to fight you. So I
Oh,
was
I
like,
see.
ah,
Yeah, that's some vital
yeah.
information right there.
Yeah, so I was like, ah, god damn it. So they came up to us, and he didn't even know what I looked like. So
Yeah.
at first, one of them comes up to Ryan McGinnis, my best friend, and
Yeah.
they go, Pouty wants to fight you. And he goes, well, we'll tell him to come here. And I'm like, fuck's sake, Guinness. And then they say to Ryan, oh, he's going to knock you out. He's going to smash your head in. And Ryan, no, he's not, because he's not fighting me. He's fighting him. And then this person just disappeared. Yeah, just yeeted away. So basically, they were like, go around the back of Pizza. So we went around the back of Pizza.
Yeah.
And they all like form a circle like you do when you're younger.
Like you do in
Using
Fight
a-
Club.
Using a compass, yeah.
Yeah,
Using
yeah.
a
Perfect
compass.
circle.
So we get to the back of Pizza Hut, and I'd never seen Pounty. I didn't
Yeah.
know what he looked like, but I was
He was
Back-
10 feet tall.
mate, back then I was like maybe 6 foot, and
Okay.
he was like he was taller than me. He was bigger than me,
Oh,
and I was like, ah, fuck.
that's unfortunate.
So,
When
yeah,
being
so-
tall is one of your attributes, and it didn't work.
Mate.
Sad.
So we're all standing in a circle, and he comes out from the crowd, and he's this big dude, and I'm just like, god damn it. So I walk over to Nathaniel, and he says to me, he's got something in his hand.
Yeah.
And Guinness says to me, he's got a lighter. Now, the reason he would have a lighter in his hand is to make his punch more powerful.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like, well, I knew that like if I just went in on him, then everybody would jump in. So
Yeah.
what I did is I stood there and I let him hit me. Let him hit me once. And I was expecting some sort of haymaker, but it was like a love tap.
Yeah.
So at that point, after he'd hit me, I just laid into him. And every time I hit him, he stumbled like a meter back.
Yeah.
And I would have put him on his ass, but he ended up like back up against this like electrical box.
Okay.
So I had him up against there, and I was hitting him, and then he got away from there, and then I hit him in the nose, and his nose popped, and he
Ouch.
was on the floor. And as soon as I got him on the floor, and this is the funniest shit that has ever happened in my life, as soon as I got him on the floor, Nathaniel, my very level-headed friend, was like, "No stamping, Jed." Is that what they call
What the
Jed? He was
fuck?
like, "No stamping, Jed." So he said that obviously because he knew if I kicked him in the head or if I did anything of the sort while he was on the ground, everybody else would jump in. Not Ryan McGinnis though. See, Guinness decided to shout, "Stamp on his fucking head!" Ah, mate, it was the funniest shit I've ever heard at the time. So basically, what I did, I
This
got him on the
sounds
floor.
fucking traumatic though, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
well,
I guess
got him
it's
on the
funny when you
floor.
know.
I got on top of him and I headbutted him in the mouth, and I split his lip open, and he was covered in blood. So was I. So I was like, "That's it, it's finished." I grabbed my jacket off Nathaniel, and we all walked up to this pub called the Red Dragon.
Yeah.
It's like
Wow,
a
it
Chinese
really sounds
place.
like a place to have a showdown.
Yeah, well, we go up there, and I'm sitting there in the Red Dragon, and my hands are like covered in blood. So I put my hands in my sleeves,
Yeah.
right? Put my hands in my sleeves to cover it. And basically, they all follow us up, and we look out the window, and there's like fucking these like year 7s, right? Just started high school, and I shit you not, there was 2 of them carrying a log between them. Like one was at the front and one was at the back. They look like the fucking Super Mario Bros. It's fucking stupid. So we go in there, and a girl comes in. So have you just had a fight with Pouncy? And Guinness starts answering, "Yeah, he has. You knocked him the fuck out." And Guinness is like that. He's a hype man.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, go back out there then." And bear in mind, there's like fucking 30, 40 of them out there. I'm not going back out there. Why would I go back out there to, get destroyed, basically?
Yeah.
But the owner of the Red Dragon seen what was going on, and he phoned the police. So the police come, all the ones outside disperse. They just they bail away.
They yeet, yeah.
Yeah, and then we get pulled outside by the police.
Oh, rip your hands.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I still had them in my sleeves,
Yeah.
and
Good
we
God,
go
your
out-
hands are gone.
we go outside, and the officer asked me, "Why are your hands in your sleeves?" Because it's not cold, and I can't say it's cold because it's boiling.
Yeah.
So I show him my hands, and it was like, "Where's that come from?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not mine."
Oh, that's great, Geddy. That's great.
These aren't my hands.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
It was like, we've heard about what's happened. Like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. Like, there was a lot of them, and there was 5 of us. It was self-defense, right?
Yep.
So he goes, well, this happens with kids, and they were the officers were really cool about it. They were absolutely spot on with it. They just said, basically, where are you staying tonight? And we were like, Beach Hill, and they were like, okay, jump in. Now here's the thing which I didn't like. Okay.
Yep.
So they put my friends in the front, right? Like
Okay.
behind the drivers, but they put me in the back in the cage.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck? Like, come on, dude. But eventually they dropped us off at Beach Hill. We got out, we drank that night, and we all ended up sleeping outside on a trampoline.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice little
And
ending to
someone
the.
touched me on the trampoline. It was really weird.
Oh, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a trampoline. Are you 5 guys on it? Then you'll have to touch at some
Well,
point, I guess.
no, but I mean, like, they touched me. somewhat.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. One of them scores my ass,
Oh.
and also tried to get a, yeah,
What the
tried
fuck?
to cut the feel of a lot more. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I turned around and I couldn't, it was dark and I couldn't figure out who it was. So I just jumped off the trampoline.
I
and
never
went
heard
for a
this
walk.
last time.
Oh, mate.
This is
so
exclusive
trash.
for the podcast, man.
Yeah,
Really.
exclusive
Ah,
material. Geddy
What a
tells
treat.
about his
Mate,
This is-
getting
mate,
molested. No?
I 100% suspect it was a guy called Shane Shaw.
Okay.
100%, because he always came across as a little creative, shall
Oh,
we
is
say.
that so?
Gonna have some
Yeah.
real legal issues if this takes off.
So yeah, that is my Pizza Hut story. Yeah.
I feel like there's a big lack of pizza in this pizza. You expect there to be pizza in a
know,
Pizza Hut
right?
story, but there's no pizza
There's
mentioned.
no pizza. It's really
I
sad.
didn't get pizza.
Oh, sad.
No.
Pizza dead ass. He's not gonna fuck up.
Ah,
What a story.
I feel like
Yeah.
that is basically my stereotypical view of what like seeing the UK. Just
Wow, I mean,
Young,
that
Fights
seems like a
behind
drunk
Pizza Hut.
people having fights on the
That- that seems-
streets. and
that
the
seems
shit.
like an overreaction for like the whole of the UK. Like I can understand like Liverpool at the very least, Geddy, but like
Yeah.
the UK is really
Wow.
like I mean that's not. I'm just saying. There's a lot of places in the UK which aren't particularly rough, and not saying that as like that's
Yeah,
necessarily a good
he is
thing.
right,
It's always
yeah.
it's cool to be punching people into electric boxes. I mean, it sounded a bit like you could have gone for a real WWE finisher and like in one of the Halloween films where Mike Myers literally throws him into the electric box. That's what you could have done.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we all
Uh-huh.
know Geddy knows
And
where
we're
to
not
dispose
inciting
of the body,
violence.
right?
We're not inciting
Uh-huh.
violence. Very
So,
clear.
so.
Yes, we no. In fact, we're gonna cut all of this out.
Aw.
No, I'm just joking.
Actually, Johnny.
Actually, no, we're gonna cut it out. Start again.
Well, think of okay, get it.
Mm.
What, like speaking of disposing of a body, because you made like did you make like a master's something
I
about it?
did.
He
Yeah,
was
you
a-
wanna
he was a
talk a
Science
lot
and
criminal.
about that?
psychology.
Yeah.
And one of the papers which we had to write was
For God's sake.
how we would get away with murder.
Yeah. So how would you get away with murder? And a bit more detailed than just what
Well, this is
I
the
heard
thing.
last
See, I was, in,
I
a,
wouldn't
I
get
was in a
caught.
unique position when
Yeah.
it came to this, and I'm really, really surprised that my tutor didn't pull me up on it and was like, "You okay?" Because basically, my brother at the time was with his girlfriend. Now, his girlfriend was the one person on this planet that I hate.
Yeah.
I have a genuine hatred for. And basically, what I said is that I would take them on a hiking to sort of, let's say, mend the relationship between me
Yeah.
and his girlfriend.
A
And
bit diplomatic.
exactly. And what it would be is I would take her like towards the edge of a cliff. Now that in itself is very questionable.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But at the same time, we were there to see the views go on the edge of
Yeah.
the cliff. Now,
Maybe we're not
what's
going to that famous cliff in Stavanger together.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe we want to skip that part.
Well, I mean, I don't think Geddy's like an out and out murderer. I mean, maybe, but he didn't try to murder me in Amsterdam,
Yeah,
at least. So.
that's
No,
some
But he
it's
might.
true.
solid,
Maybe he was
solid. Like
waiting-
he
waiting
didn't
to bring
murder
us
me
to-
last time, so he can't murder
Well,
me now, right?
I'm just saying, like, you know, if Geddy was just out to murder people, I feel
Yeah.
like he'd do it more often. So I feel like you could still go break his and
Just make it
not
sound
worry
like
about
it's a
Geddy pushing you off.
pastime, like you're a
Well,
murderer, you
unless, of
just
course-
casually murder people.
Well, I mean, Geddy might have like he might be like a murderer, but he only murders people by pushing them off of cliffs after inviting them out to see the view. We didn't go to any cliffs with nice views in Amsterdam, so maybe that's how I escaped.
Well,
He'd be
see,
called
there are
the
key
cliff killer.
things with getting caught and getting away with murder,
There's-
right?
there's a cliff.
From what I see,
And a
right?
good view.
Basically, witnesses. So it would be more of us there. It wasn't just me and his girlfriend. It would be my brother, my other brother, his girlfriend, my girlfriend. And
push
basically,
them all off.
I would take her up there, and
I
it's
just
not like I
think-
would push her, right? It would basically what I said it would be like a subtle stumbling,
Yeah,
and a stumble is really easy to fake in terms of footprints because that would what they would be going off. So
Yeah.
basically, it's a drag mark with a lot of pressure applied. So if I were to stumble, it would have to be deep. The footprint.
yeah,
It would have to be deep, and it would have to be like sort of in a sliding motion. That would
Yeah.
have that, and I said I would, grab onto her, but up on top of a cliff, humidity, the view on the grasses. My hands would be particularly slippy, and I would make sure I held onto her long enough that someone were to witness me attempting to save her.
yeah.
Right?
Oh my
well,
God.
save her in quotation marks.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're just giving people like advice about how to murder someone at the top of a cliff.
And then she would. Oh no, she slipped.
Yeah.
That's the most convincing. Is that how you'd say it? Oh no, she slipped.
I imagine that
But,
in
Of
court
course,
somebody's like,
of course,
Yeah.
in my paper,
"So you
I went
hated
into
this
a lot
woman?"
more
You're like,
detail
"Yes."
about what would be needed to analyze the evidence and to get
Yeah.
away with it and stuff.
course,
But I
yeah.
did come away from that with a distinction, so technically I could get away with.
Nice, technically. So
Uh-huh.
what you're saying is you basically are somewhat qualified to murder someone at the top of a cliff.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, basically.
I get away with it. Yeah.
fantastic.
I
Well,
mean, if you're ever out of a career and you need you need something to do, hitman from a cliff. You
Uh-huh.
just start a company that sells like trips to high cliffs or something for the view, and then you just get a free one for the target.
Assassin for
Yeah,
hire.
and then you
Yeah.
just get rid of him. Oh, and I stumbled again
Oh,
for the
no,
third
oh,
time. Oh,
no.
it's so sad.
oh no, she died.
Or just like a pile at the bottom of dead bodies. And-
I don't know how they all got
You have
there.
to clear the pile, though,
Yeah.
because if it gets too high, they won't die from the fall, will they?
Wow,
that
they
is
just
true.
land on a body and
Then,
survive.
Look like
then
something out of
after
World
he
War
makes
Z.
it into like
Geddy
a water
comes
slide.
down when they survived, and it's like, oh, you get a free trip up again because this one went so bad.
No, you just may turn it into a water slide.
So yes, that was my how to get away with murder.
Right, so right now, so far we've learned about fighting people outside Pizza Hut and how to
Uh-huh.
murder people.
Yeah, and this is because you studied forensics, right?
Yes, forensic science
So-
and criminal psychology.
What happened to that? I think you gave it up like after a while or something. What happened?
No,
Just
no,
not
I,
enough
No.
no. I passed it
Yeah,
with
Okay.
a distinction.
that's nice.
And basically, see, I wasn't told this at the beginning of the course, but basically because I am blind in one eye.
Yeah.
What happened was, anytime I would work on a case, it would be called into question.
Because of your
like,
vision.
Because of my vision, exactly.
Yeah.
There would be reason to call into question, and if I ever did mess up, and the evidence became inadmissible in court, not only one would a criminal get away with their crime, but two, my name would be tarnished, and so would the firm for hiring me. So basically, I
Yeah.
couldn't be insured to work in that line of work. And as much as I found criminal psychology to be really interesting and something, it's not really something that I would have seen myself going into long term.
Yeah.
So I put my focus elsewhere.
I mean, it's a bit unfortunate though. Like, even imagine that if that's what you actually wanted to do and you made it that far, that'd be so sad. And could just
Yeah,
imagine like the kind of dick lawyer using that against you. And
yeah,
like, of course they would, because you use any method necessary, and
exactly.
it's just trash that it's like that. It would be so sad.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to be a CSI, so basically one of the guys that dresses up in the white condom suit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
Is
just
that why?
picture.
Is that what attracted you to it?
Yeah, the
exactly.
suit.
The
He
condom
comes
I
there
get a white
first
condom
day.
suit.
He's like, "Where is my suit?"
Yeah, where is my white condom?
But that course is really fun, especially forensic science part, like the
Yeah.
practical part of it. Because they used to do mock crimes for us in a room. They would have like fake blood splattered around, and they would
Yeah.
find hair and fingerprints, and you'd have to lift it. You'd have to go through the chain of custody. You'd have to use silver nitrate to lift the fingerprints properly. It was really good. So it was awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Hmm.
Go on,
Did you get
Sanfan.
any really hard ones that are like?
I did. I did get a really hard one. Basically, they set it up so that this woman had been stabbed and sexually assaulted
Yeah.
in a room. She bled out in the room, but there was no forced entry. There was no struggle or anything, and basically what had happened was there was nothing there. There was no fingerprints. There was nothing. So basically, we had to sort of think outside the box, like how could he possibly have got in? Now, one of the things which they told us is that everything you need is inside the room. This is the
Okay.
thing which threw everybody off because they're like, it's inside the room. So we're obviously all looking inside the room. And then I noticed that the room they put us in is on the ground level. Now, every other mock exam we'd done was higher up because that was where the forensic science floor was. It was on the 3rd floor. So
Yeah.
I was thinking, why on earth are we on the 1st floor? What is going up?
Yeah.
So basically, what it turned out to be was I was like, we're on the 1st floor for a reason. There's no other reason they would do this because all the other mock exams were not on the 1st floor. So I go to the window and I open the window and I see like a smear of blood on the left side and a broken fingernail. So what they'd actually done is try to trick us into thinking, because what they want you to do is not sort of like, they don't want you to think just like based on directions. They want you to think for yourself. So
Yeah.
my group ended up passing that, but there were 6 groups, and only mine and one other group actually passed it.
So what was the actual, like, what had happened?
Basically, what had happened is he'd come through the door wearing gloves,
Yeah.
no fingerprints, no nothing, and what he had done is he got him behind her, threatened her with a knife. If she screamed, if she struggled, he would murder her.
Yeah.
So he sexually assaulted her, and then he'd slit her throat, slitting her vocal cords so she couldn't scream,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
that
he'd
sounds
stabbed
so
her.
gruesome.
He'd stabbed her in the stomach, and then yeah. So basically how they simulate this is they get actual like movie effects prosthetics.
Yeah.
They have a dummy and they place it over her. So you have to, because when you're analyzing crime scene, you have to photograph everything. We
Yeah.
had to photograph all this. So basically, that was what we came up with. And then I was thinking, well, why would he go out the window?
Yeah.
Because he's coming through the door. Why would he go out the window? And basically, what I'd figured out is that when we were trying to go back out of the room, the door locked itself.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, so I was like, so this is why he's got out the window. So because the door's locked himself, I surmised that he'd panicked. I haven't got a way out or anything. He's gone to the window, and as he's gone to the window, he's caught his hand on the
Yeah.
left side getting out. And basically, what's that done is sort of like cut the glove.
Yeah. Oh, so you got DNA that
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, he's cut the gloves, and when he's gone to pull it off with his other hand to get his glove free, basically he's like broke his nail on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my running feast, and I got it correct.
That's incredible. Looks
God.
like we're out of time, guys.
There we
So that
go.
was a nice first visit, and
Yeah.
I think feel like we
Well,
really got some shit done. Like we
Well-
talked about a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's really great. So everybody, be sure to tune in for the next episode. We're getting After Hours with Nuppe, and it's gonna be R-rated because, well,
Oh.
that's why it's named After Hours with Nuppe. So
Ooh.
we'll see you for that episode, and thanks for listening to this one. Bye from us. Bye bye.
Bye.